Hello, today we are going to discuss about the mind, body and soul session 3, and we will see some more techniques to find out how we can do this convergence of mind, body and soul and make our life more better. So we have already known that this can actually bring peace and it can make our life much better. Now we will see that how to balance our mind, body and soul. So for balancing our mind, body and soul, we must have good health, and for good health we need proper diet and regular exercise. However, good health isn't just about the physical body, because the definition of good health tells that apart from the physical body, we should have our mental presence to be perfectly fit, and also we must have a good social well-being. That means we should be socially accepted, and thus we can be totally healthy. Now let us know the definition of better health or good health. It is about overall well-being, which includes having better mind, healthy body, interconnected to each other, and also affects each other tremendously, which I think is going to have overall social impact on whatever we do in our day-to-day lives and throughout the day. Taking example in this case, in any stressful situation which causes negative thoughts, can lead to physical pain or illness, it is always necessary to maintain a healthy balance between our mind, body and soul by nurturing our whole self, including our physical, mental, emotional and spiritual needs. Today we will discuss many things that one can do to achieve overall wellness and thus to begin to cultivate a mind, body, soul balance. We are going to discuss few of the methods out of that. First one is reading and learning more often. Our education shouldn't stop once we are out of school or college. Our mind should always be open to new possibilities, beliefs and interests by reading and taking online classes, even watching documentaries, films and attending workshops. Then, as you know that by doing all these things, we can actually keep on learning new techniques, new things, which will help us to have a better coordination between our mind, body and our soul. And I think we all have already discussed what the soul is. It is nothing but the consciousness which actually connects our body and mind to a higher extent. Now let us go to the next or the second point of achieving this balance, that is by avoiding sitting for extended period of time, which we actually do. We must try to stand or move around while we work if possible. Too much sitting is linked to heart disease, diabetes and a shortened lifespan. Number 3 is, apart from meditation and yoga, exercise is also important. We must develop a habit of walking or even cycling to the neighborhood areas. Exercise is important for heart health, physical stamina and a better mood. Now number 4 is spending time outside. We must spend some time outside for hiking, boating, picnics, outdoor sports, foraging for wild foods, camping, etc. These things we don't do these days, but however actually if we are having some gardens nearby, we can go for this foraging of wild foods and even for camping. Campings are very easy to do. but however, getting wild foods are not so easy, but we can do if we have got nearby areas, gardens in our vicinity. Number 5, add more plant-based food to our diet. We must try to get more plant-based diet in our food, and eating a lot of fruits and veggies, it can help prevent chronic diseases like diabetes. We should try to purchase from local farmers market for fresh in-season produce. This will give us the better food or even the veggies, because once we are getting it directly from the markets, from where they are actually growing in the fields, we will obviously get the fresh ones, and thus it will have a better portion of vitamins and minerals which we are searching for in this plant-based diet. Now number 6 is get involved in volunteer organization or activism groups. Making our voice heard or using our talent to do something good in the world makes us feel connected, and this connectedness is an incredible experience when we are working towards a common goal. So with this, I think we can actually achieve a better consciousness for our soul and also for the people living nearby, and thus we can think of bringing a better ideas all together and doing something better for the society. Number 7 is fueling our passions. We all are having certain passion in our life, and we must keep fueling it with various ways, and we must try to set aside some time each day to do what makes our soul happy. We must keep our hobbies alive and shouldn't forget to paint, dance, make music, write, garden, or even swim. Whatever our hobby is or whatever our passion is, we must follow it. That also makes us connected to our soul. Number 8 is listening to music more often and singing along also, or dancing. These things also helps us connect with our higher consciousness. Number 9 is being grateful. We must take out some time each day to write or think about things which we are grateful for, like family, friends, pets, food, shelter, health, or the beauty of nature. Next, number 10, be kind to everyone. Being kind is a virtue that has many benefits. Apart from being kind to everyone around us, we must be kind to ourselves too. So, if we are kind to the people around us and even to ourselves, that will also help us to connect to the soul or the higher consciousness within us. Number 11, get enough sleep each night. Sleeps are essential, and we must also remember that we are never too old for naps. Taking in between naps in the afternoon or even sometimes in the evening when we are actually feeling tired, it is essential, and we should not actually feel guilty of taking the naps in between in whatever age we are. Then number 12, detoxify your beauty routine. We must try to switch to natural products and avoid chemical based products. Cleaners should also be natural or green ones instead of chemical cleaners. Chemicals have got their own effect on our skin, even at times in our on our mind, and many other things, because often we are using facials or cleansers, face cleaners and all, so they are having a deeper impact than we actually think of. So it is better to switch over to the natural things in our beauty routine. Number 13, find a meaningful career path. We must all chase dreams, not riches. And dreams keeps our soul alive. It keeps our passion burning. So we must actually follow our dreams and do something that will make our dream come true by our choosing the right career path. Number 14, Let go of the little things. If something won't matter tomorrow, don't let it ruin today. So you'll find that there are many things we actually keep on worrying about, and it uh, kind of rusts our soul. So we must try to be free with ourselves and try to actually let go of small things which will never matter in our life after few days. We must actually take care of things which will actually matter year after year. That is our body, our mind, and our soul, obviously. So that's it. Number 15, slow down. A little rest and relaxation when we are used to spending a lot of time on the go can replenish our mind and body. You will find that we must actually try to spend some time with ourselves. When we do that, actually our soul actually rejuvenates, and with that we are feeling freshness within ourselves, and also we think that our mind has got more capability to do better things in our life. Next, number 16, don't be a people's pleaser. So there is a difference between being kind and being a doormat. You should not be a doormat. If we spend too much time worrying about what others think, we will lose ourselves and end up feeling miserable. So we should not actually try to become a people's pleaser. Rather, we should think of making something better with ourselves, which actually makes our soul and ourselves feel better and feel happy. Number 17, cut major sources of stress out of your life. This includes unnecessary spending, clutter, a job one hates, or unhealthy relationships even. These things takes up a lot of our mind, and when we do these things, we are always stressed, and with stress it is obviously impacting to our physical body also. So we should actually cut out all these things which will make us more and more stressful. Number 18, we should avoid gossip and dramas. Judging our neighbors and co-workers doesn't make us superior, rather it makes us hard to trust. So in order to gain trust, and also to make the society or the place where we are working or where we are living a better one, we should actually avoid gossips and dramas. When we are gossiping more and more, we are trying to make a small wrong or of someone a bigger one, and the vibes are spreading in that manner only. So we should actually stop discussing about anything which is bad around us, or which we can say as gossips, and also the dramas. Dramas are not bad when we see it on screen as cinemas or even in theaters, but if we keep on doing that in our real life, it is adding up to the unlikeness of the vibes which we get in our day-to-day lives. So to get better vibes or good vibes, what we say, we should actually avoid gossips and dramas. Number 19, we should laugh often. Laughing or smiling is the best medicine, as we know. If we take life too seriously, we are surely going to miss out on a whole lot of good times. So we should actually we are not to take our lives very seriously. Rather, we should actually be happy throughout our day and keep laughing more often when we meet our neighbors, when we meet our colleagues, and throughout the day. But you should just keep in mind that we should not keep on laughing unnecessarily, so that we may be labeled as someone who is not having a proper mind or something like that. So we should actually take care of that, but still we should be cheerful enough throughout the life. Number 20, travel and learn about other cultures. We must travel to as many places as we can and enjoy the cultural diversity of those places. When we enjoy the cultural diversity of different places, we learn many new things, and many times we actually inculcate in our day-to-day life, and that makes our life much better and enjoyable also. And we actually look more smarter than before when we are trying to inculcate others' culture in ours, and so on. Number 21, forgive yourself for your past mistakes. We should never stick to our mistakes. Mistakes will happen because we are humans, but we should never stick to our mistakes. Rather, we should try to overcome those mistakes, and when we are learning from the mistakes, those are never remaining as mistakes. It has been now converted into lessons, and those too as fruitful lessons. So we must learn from the past, but don't let it destroy us. Number 22, opt for natural remedies whenever you can. Knowing about the herbs, the right foods and essential oils can be very healing and have fewer dangerous side effects than most pharmaceuticals. So we should not always be dependent on the chemicals or even the drugs which we take in our day-to-day lives for every small problems in our life. We should rather depend on some natural remedies around us. If we are having little bit of fever, we should go for bathing, and if it is serious, obviously we should take the pharmaceuticals or the drugs, but for small things we should actually go for natural remedies. There are many more, but we will discuss that in the next class or in the next session of the same part. Then number 23, being mindful. We must listen carefully to what others says in conversation and respond thoughtfully after understanding what they mean to say. See, when we are conversing with someone, or the communication skill which we are actually taking into consideration, it has got a huge impact on what we are saying or how we are actually conveying ourselves to others. So when we try to convey ourselves in a better manner, first we have to be a very good listener. Once we listen to others, we can actually understand what the person actually wants from us, and in such a way we are able to respond properly. When we are in a hurry to tell something, we may be telling something which may not be correct, or we may be looking like telling something which is not related to what the person is asking. So it is very necessary to know or understand or listen to what the other person is trying to get from you. And if you are not understanding the person's questions carefully, I feel like we must ask the things to make it clear what the person wants from you, and then you should answer the questions of others. We should not just directly keep on answering the things randomly, thinking about the question what the person is asking. Now we will just go to the Vedas, and we will see that how Vedas are going to depict how the balance is actually maintained. So this is from the Yaksha's Prashna. Kicha dhairyam uttahritam dhairyam indriya nigraha. This is the question from Yaksha Prashna, and the Yaksha is asking the question, what is real courage? And we must know that of course, to have anything in our life, like here the balance between the body, mind and soul, we must be courageous enough. So what is the real courage? We must know real courage is the control of the senses. We have got 5 senses, and out of all the animals and plants and whatever living organisms we find on the earth, out of all of them, we are the ones we are having all the 5 senses. And not only that, we are also the one who possess the highest level of intelligence, and this level of intelligence should be actually utilized properly for the betterment of all of us, like for humans, for plants, even for animals. So here I am going to add a little bit about what the real courage is. So the real strength of a person lies in restoring his senses. The Vedas feel like the real strength of the person is in restoring his or her senses. Once we are restoring our senses to the better version of ourselves, we are really courageous. The sense organs are gateway through which worldly objects and experiences enter our mind. The natural tendency of the senses is to go outward into the world. To control this outgoing tendency of the senses is no small task. I think this all of us has felt that controlling our senses, or even with the senses, there is occurrence of desires, and controlling our desires is not an easy task. So we must actually master this art of conquering our senses, and thus we must conquer the art of conquering our desires, which will actually make us courageous, and it will also help to maintain a good body, mind and soul connection, or the balance between all of them. And once we allow all the experiences and objects in our mind indiscriminately, we fall into the clutches of egocentric desires and attachments. I hope you all know that what are egocentric desires and attachment. Many times we will just feel like we are in the ego. We speak also with ego, and that hurts the person around us. And when we are having or trying to maintain a better body soul connection, we must not be egoistic in nature. When we are talking with ego, or when we are doing our actions shows ego, that actually is not good for the society, because obviously the ego of someone tries to bring down someone else, and that is hurting to the society, and which we actually must avoid. And this can be done when we actually follow the path of controlling our senses to much greater extent. That never actually tells that we should not have desires, but in the way of having our desires, even in the way of achieving our desires, we should never try to hurt someone, or try to show that we are much better than someone else. Actually, we are never. All of us are quite equal, and you will find that you may be blessed with something which the other might be lacking, but then in the same place you must be lacking something which other has been blessed with. So we must understand this, and we should not be egoistic in our attitude, or even in our words or in actions. Overcoming such an extroverted state is the preliminary step towards discovering the self. It is said that the seeds of knowledge of the self lies in the control of one's senses. So once we are trying to control our senses, we will be having a better knowledge of ourselves, who we are, and we are going to connect with our own self, and thus we are not going to be egoistic. We are going to know ourselves, and when we are not egoistic, when we know ourselves better, it also helps us to connect with the world in much better way. We are also trying to understand others properly, and thus we can actually, as we know others properly, we can cater to their needs as well as our requirement from them. And this way you will find that the connections around us will become much better than what we are having today. The Tirukural says, "He who guides his five senses by prodding them with the stick of wisdom will sow the seeds for attaining liberation." And I think all of us know that liberation is the sole purpose of human lives, and when we are trying to guide our senses with wisdom, we are sure to attain liberation. So that's all for today, for this mind, body and soul balance. We will be meeting again very soon to discuss more on this topic. So thank you all.